Today we'll have the latest on the new Zelda, Uncharted 3, Tomb Raider, and Assassin's Creed Revelations. These are the big ones.
Plus a review of the Gunstringer and new gameplay from Battlefield 3. XList starts right now.
Hello and welcome to XPlay. Smile, you son of a bitch. I'm Adam Sessler.
And I'm Morgan Webb. That's a Jaws reference.
Coming up on today's show, we've got a review of the Gunstringer, Twisted Pixel's first foray into Connect. Then Kristen Adams has a cheat that'll help you take down a tough boss in Deus Ex: Human Revolution.
Plus, we're going to recommend some great games for everyone's favorite piece of brag tech, the iPad. And later, we'll get some FaceTime with Notch, creator of the incredibly addicting and successful Minecraft.
But first, we must look at ones that are big.
I know it may seem like most AAA games are just about looking down iron sights and shooting a teenager, and that's true 90% of the time.
But that other 10% are filled with action, adventure, and repeated stabbings in the neck and crotch.
These are the big ones.
It's crazy to think that a brand new Zelda game is just a couple of months away, and the level of hype hasn't nearly matched past releases. Maybe that's because Skyward Sword is arriving for the Wii, a system that's been gathering dust for a lot of gamers. But personally, our anticipation levels are still high. It's not common for this series to let us down. So far, the emphasis has been on the game's accurate sword controls, but we're sure there are more surprises yet to be unveiled. Recent gameplay trailers have shown off a lot more variety than previous Legend of Zelda games, and we're excited to finally get our hands on it when it comes out November 20th.
But the dreamers of the day are dangerous men.
Speaking of tried and true action franchises, Uncharted has quickly become one of our favorites. Nathan Drake showed off an extended chunk of gameplay at E3, and the head-spinning set pieces look amazing. The latest footage of Uncharted 3 Drake's Deception shows off a high-flying action sequence set on a cargo plane. And it has us very excited to play the final release, which comes out early November.
Be careful what you wish for. It might just get you.
And as long as we're talking about huge November releases, we can't neglect our old friend Ezio. No, we mean that literally. He looks pretty old now.
Gather your men. This will attract some attention.
The latest footage shows off some explosive trap setting. Assassin's Creed Revelations will also feature a huge area to explore. Constantinople is intimidatingly large and crawling with life. But we've saved our last game in this preview of big action titles for the greatest question mark, Crystal Dynamics' latest attempt to reboot Tomb Raider. The idea is simple. Tell Lara Croft's origin story as a gritty, realistic tale of survival. The developers promise to stay away from the cheesecake sexualized gimmickry of years past. This will be a Tomb Raider reboot that truly takes the series back to its roots.
What is this place?
Lara will be exploring an exotic locale as she solves puzzles. Hopefully the simpler approach pays off. And unlike the other games we featured, there's still plenty of time to fine-tune this one. Tomb Raider won't be hitting stores until the fall of 2012. That's right, hardcore fans have almost a full year to wait before getting to play. But it looks like there are plenty of big ones to hold you over until then. I don't think it's an exaggeration to say that we're looking at a release schedule of what is potentially some of the best action games of all time. I mean, there's Uncharted 2, now we got Uncharted 3, they have big shoes to fill.
I mean, Uncharted 2 won pretty much every award
Yes.
that was available for video games to win, and maybe even some more. So, of course, we have high expectations for Uncharted 3. What people like so much about it is just great writing, there's great characters. It's that action movie that you always wanted, and you always go to the, you go to the movie theater to see, and you walk out disappointed, and like you actually get that.
You're actually getting it in games,
Yes.
far more than you're getting it in movies. I mean, also when you look at, say Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
Here you're about to sort of end this big story arc. We just saw that happen with Gears of War 3. I think that there's a sense of enthusiasm that we're actually seeing things concluded within the same console generation.
Well,
it's satisfying.
The great thing about Assassin's Creed is like you get when they make the next Assassin's Creed game, you get so many more features and so much more gameplay than you did. It's not like when they sort of do another third-person shooter or first-person shooter. It's like kind of the same game but better, more polished. It's like you get a lot of new mechanics as well. So it's interesting to see.
It's a yearly release that I don't mind seeing every year.
Exactly.
It's just perfect. And then, Zelda, I think it is curious. Of course, I'm going to play it, but it's not drumming up that same level of enthusiasm that a Zelda game usually would. Exactly.
Okay, so here, I think basically basically what it is like you show Zelda, and then right after that we showed Uncharted, and just the difference in graphics and just adult nature of Uncharted, and the graphics were
and the
beautiful.
evolution of gameplay.
Yes.
And that's the thing, that the Zelda gameplay, even though it is trying to incorporate the Wii in ways I think are a little bit onerous, it doesn't feel like it's really graduated from what we were experiencing in Ocarina of Time.
And how great would a Zelda game be on a modern console with modern graphics?
Exactly. Now, Tomb Raider, that's
that.
not coming out till what, 2012? It's interesting. I have never really understood. I think there's this misassumption that there's this huge fan base for Tomb Raider, which I don't think existed. It was just kind of the eroticization of this main character that has no personality.
There isn't really, and then now that there's the movies, you know, there's a lot of name recognition that they're trying to go off of, so the more casual gamer who's not really familiar with gaming in general is like, Tomb Raider, that is a name that I recognize. I will pay money for this game. So.
Eidos is reinventing Hitman, which I always thought has some great potential, and I understand that. Tomb Raider, the same game is being done in games like Uncharted, so I don't really see the need to go back to it, but at the same time, Crystal Dynamics could pull it off. Well, I guess that's it for, action games for this year. One, way out there.
All right, let's send it over to Blair.
Good talky talk. Twisted Pixel's original plan for the Gunstringer was to make another Xbox Live Arcade game, as they've successfully done numerous times in the past. But this Wild West Connect title was just too damn big for its britches and couldn't be contained to the interwebs. It's now a disc-based game, and we will tell you if it's worth a buy in our review.
He was a one-man judge, jury, and executioner on the bloody vengeance trail.
Pistoliers, get ready for a tale of revenge and redemption as you control an undead puppet in an old-fashioned Western shootout.
The Gunstringer wants news of his return spread on panicked horseback.
The Kinect-enabled The Gunstringer is oozing with charm and filled with controller-free fun. It's also the best rootin'-tootin' reason so far to flail your limbs in front of Microsoft's new tech. The core gameplay is lightning fast, crazy fun, and super accessible. But it's the personality-packed presentation that steals this show by a country mile. All the action unfolds during an on-stage puppet show. Papier-mâché, cardboard, popsicle sticks, and Lincoln Logs make up the eye-popping sets and colorful characters. Also selling the Stars on Strings theme is an actual audience watching the performance. As you play, they'll cheer when bad guys are bested and boo when cowboy justice isn't properly served. The play mechanics feel simplified, unlike many of Kinect's titles. Players use one hand to paint and shoot targets, and the other to trigger the hero's jumps and left and right actions. At times, the game takes the shape of a simple side-scrolling platformer, then switches to a section that will have you sacrificing character movement in favor of dual wielding. The Gunstringer boasts the ability to play cowboy from the couch, but you'd be better off adopting a standing position because the controller-free gameplay seems less responsive from the saddle. The 4-hour campaign itself comes up a little short on time and may have you thinking that your 10-gallon hat feels more like a 5-gallon hat. But it's the game's addictive arcade-flavored gameplay and infectious personality that makes Twisted Pixel's puppet-starring cowboy shooter their best game yet, and the Kinect's must-buy entry. The Gunstringer gets 4 bullseyes.
6 shots of lead would now make their mark.
Out of 5.
Coming up on XPlay, we've got a Battlefield 3 preview with brand new gameplay, and we'll get some FaceTime with Notch, the creator of Minecraft. Plus, Kristen Adams has a cheat for Deus Ex Human Revolution, and Alex Simwise counts down her top 5 games of all time in today's XList. We'll be right back.
If you want to hear what I really think about games away from the shackles of television, check out Sessler's Soapbox. New episodes go up every Tuesday at g4tv.com/soapbox.
You know, when I tweet, there aren't any lightning strikes, and that is not fair. The Deus Ex series is all about options. You play the way you want, take the path you want, and shoot whoever you like. But there is a downside. You might be, nay, you'll probably be unprepared for a truly tough battle. Good thing Kristen Adams is here to help you through it.
You're presented with a great deal of choice in Human Revolution. There's dialogue trees, different play styles, and unique upgrade paths. But none of that matters when you come upon the game's first boss battle. It won't be easy, but fear not, I shall be your guide. Deus Ex Human Revolution. It takes place in the not-too-distant future, but in the future like the present, everybody needs a little help. Everybody needs a little bit of cheat. Especially when it comes to Adam Jensen's first and possibly toughest boss battle in the game, the fight against Lawrence Barrett.
Well, looky here. We got us a Boy Scout.
Lawrence, or Larry to his friends, has been cybernetically enhanced. He's a walking, talking tank who plods along like Mickey Rourke at the Los Angeles swap meet. And he's just as relentless, continually firing his weapons at poor Adam. And these close quarters don't make things easy. But the fact that Barrett is slow-moving can be used to Adam's advantage. Barrett has simple patterns. Study them, learn them, master them. There are two smaller rooms just off from the main room. Within these two rooms, Adam can find weapons, health, and a chance to breathe and recover a bit. Adam should continually be on the move between these two rooms. Sure, Barrett won't respect that. He'll show his displeasure with a grenade or two, but that's his issue, not yours. Adam should avoid these grenades and move throughout the three rooms, avoiding, hiding, crouching. Until the time is right. The time for grenades. EMP grenades. They make life so simple, these grenades. When the time is right, Adam should chuck these EMPs at Barrett and unload with all he's got. It won't be easy, but it can work. And if Adam listens to our cheat, it will work. And maybe, just maybe, Adam can get some answers. Answers that will be so much sweeter now that he's cheated. For more Deus Ex cheats and all the latest tips and tricks, just head to g4tv.com/cheat. Right now, I'm going to send it back over to Morgan.
Thanks, Kristen. All right, there are many games that aim to bring you a realistic portrayal of modern war, but I think that Battlefield 3 might be the first one to give players post-traumatic stress disorder. The action is chaotic, intense, and very loud. See what I mean in this preview. Battlefield 3. XPlay has maybe teased this game. Maybe once or twice throughout the year. Who can count?
I just work here, Dave.
We just can't help it. The game looks so damn good. Up until now, the main Battlefield series has been a PC staple. A full-on, multiplayer-centric, damn the single-player torpedoes, high-end gaming rig extravaganza. But EA is betting that Battlefield 3 can hang with the console crowd. A brand new single-player campaign, more extensive than anything seen yet in the main series, will be the linchpin of that wager. We've gotten our hands on the single-player level, codenamed Operation Guillotine. What you're seeing now is what Battlefield 3 will look like on the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. Operation Guillotine has you infiltrating an apartment complex that may or may not be housing members of the People's Liberation and Resistance, the dastardly enemies in Battlefield 3. And the danger in the air is thick. It's that tense. Anybody can die at any time. Much like the multiplayer side of Battlefield 3, teamwork is key. You don't play the all-important action hero here. You are a part of a vast and frighteningly efficient war machine. It's one of the best things about the Battlefield franchise, and the tradition continues here. New tactics were shown off, such as firing illumination shells from a mortar to make the battlefield visible. The Frostbite 2 engine certainly lends itself to the gritty action we expect from the game. The performance is nothing that would make PC gamers jealous, but it's impressive the way light tries to break through dust and dirt is tossed by explosions. Operation Guillotine more than does its job in making us a whole lot more excited for the single player.
Move out!
The smart pacing includes dips in the action to create build-up, not to mention variety in the mission objectives that places you both on foot and in vehicles. Battlefield 3 is due out on October 25th. Bring it on!
After the break, we'll get some FaceTime with the man who's richer than all of us put together, Notch, the creator of Minecraft. Plus, Alex Simwise counts down her top 5 games of all time in today's XList. We'll be right back. If you're looking for some dungeoning and dragoning on the go, here are 2 new fantasy RPGs you should be adding to your iPad. King of Dragon Pass is an excellent old PC Mac game. It looks simple and kinda stodgy, but is surprisingly deep and involving. You'll run a village in a brutal fantasy world that involves magic, sacrifice, war, dragons, and the occasional dinosaur. Many elements of the game have been improved over the old PC version. At $9.99, it's pricey for an iOS app, but totally worth it if you like Civilization or Masters of Orion. Enosha 2, A Wanderer of Luon, is simply a well-made little RPG that feels nicely reminiscent of 16-bit titles of yesteryear. Players will go on quests, get loot, gear up, and gather a party. What makes it worth recommending is that it controls well, has appealing visuals, and is surprisingly full-featured. There's a free version available, but we recommend springing for the 99-cent version to avoid those crummy pop-up ads. We often joke that developers expect people to pay money for an unfinished game, and when that happens, it's a bad thing.
But not in the case of Minecraft. The indie game was sold early in development, and fans were rewarded with frequent updates that made the experience better and better.
And it made the creator incredibly rich. We got some FaceTime with the man behind Minecraft, internet hero Notch.
Minecraft may be the biggest indie phenomenon of this generation, and it's still not even out of beta. We went straight to the game's creator, Marcus Notch Persson, for all the latest info on this insanely popular sandbox building game.
Here at PAX, we're showing off the new adventure update.
Known as Adventure Update, Minecraft's version 1.8 patch adds to the game's unique playing experience by introducing new enemies and quests, while featuring a new terrain generator and larger biomes.
I think when you play Minecraft, you get kind of unique experiences because the levels are randomly generated, it's kind of chaotic. So everyone kind of has their own personal story about what happens in Minecraft, and I think that really makes it a personal experience.
Minecraft is also set to hit the Xbox 360 this winter. This new version of the game will be designed specifically for console play and will be developed by 4J Studios, with Persson serving as game designer.
The Xbox version will be more focused on arcade gameplay and doing things slightly faster than on the PC. For example, we won't have the same crafting system. There will probably be like tutorials and stuff that makes it easier just to play it straight from the Xbox.
And while Persson's company, Mojang, will not be developing the Xbox version, Persson is still committed to Minecraft's PC version and the game's large and loyal community.
Fan feedback is one of the most important aspects of the entire community when making Minecraft. The PAX audience has been really positive, actually. They found a couple of bugs, but that's good. So we'll take everything we heard and go back home and tweak the things we got the feedback about, and then do an update as soon as we can.
Finally, fans will be glad to know the Minecraft beta is almost over.
The full version of Minecraft will be released on November 18 this year.
Okay, to put the game's success in perspective, one guy made this, 3 million copies sold, no marketing. There's still an Xbox version on the way. That's like 120 million hats that guy could buy, just like the one he's wearing. Think about that. Crazy. Now, the video game industry is much different in England. Games cost thousands of pounds or euros or Swede bucks, whatever they swap the goods for there. There's flagrant use of the letter U. Plots revolve around tea, orphanages, and the royal family. So I'm really curious as to what Alex Simwise's 5 favorite games are.
My name's Alex Simwise, and these are my top 5 favorite games of all time. Number 5 is BioShock. BioShock, because I like sucking the Adam out of those mean little blighters.
No! 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 No!
Number 4 is Sonic the Hedgehog, because I have a bit of a thing for big, blue, fast furries. Oh yeah. Number 3 is Shining in the Darkness, because I love me some dungeon crawlers, you know, I'm proper dirty like. Number 2 is Final Fantasy VII, because I'm a big, huge RPG nerd. So you wankers better stop hating on Cloud. And number 1 is Silent Hill. Silent Hill, because that game scares the bloody bejesus out of me. It's terrifying. It's so scary.
Tomorrow on X-Play, get ready to pick your jaw up off the floor because we're counting down the 7 most shocking moments in gaming. Plus, we've got brutally honest reviews of all the latest games, including NHL 12 and the indie oddity Rock of Ages.
Plus a haunting X-Play inbox.
Is that because it's Halloween soon?
No, it's just gonna really stay with you. The memories, it's gonna make you think. You know, kind of like a Lars von Trier's movie.
Thanks for watching X-Play.
Less rapey.